Overthinking is something we all struggle with at some point in our lives, and it can be exhausting, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But through the lens of Buddhism, we can find practical wisdom that offers real peace. The Buddhist path is not about escaping from reality, but embracing it with clarity, understanding, and compassion. In this video, we will explore 7 powerful lessons inspired by Buddhist teachings to help you clear your mind, stop overthinking, and find lasting peace. Lesson 1. Clear your mind by focusing only on important thoughts. In Buddhism, we learn that the mind is like a river. It is always moving and full of thoughts. A lot of these thoughts aren't important, but they fill our minds with worries about the past or the future. One of the most important things that Buddhism teaches is to understand how thoughts work and to see them for what they are, temporary and not always true. Just think about the most important things to clear your mind. This doesn't mean ignoring or pushing away thoughts. It just means realizing that some thoughts aren't worth your time. Being fully present in the here and now is something that Buddhism tells us to do. Mindfulness is a way to train yourself to stay in the present moment without getting distracted by small or unimportant thoughts. One easy way to begin is to ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Let it go if it's not helping you. We learn to be aware of our thoughts without getting attached to them through awareness and meditation. Think of your mind as a peaceful garden. You want to take care of the flowers, which are your important thoughts, and get rid of the bugs, which are the things that are distracting you. We can clear our minds and feel at peace by focusing on only the most important things. This focus lets us act on purpose instead of acting on every thought that comes to mind without thinking first. We get better at not overthinking over time by practicing, and we naturally start to think about things that are good for us and our peace of mind. Lesson 2. Set a daily time limit for worrying and stick to it. Worrying about things we can't change, the future, or even mistakes we've made in the past can make us think too much. It's normal to worry sometimes, but too much worry can take over our lives. In Buddhism, it's taught that balance and modesty are important in everything, and this includes worrying. Setting a daily time limit for worrying is a useful way to deal with overthinking. It may seem counterintuitive, but letting yourself worry, but only to a certain point, keeps it from taking over your thoughts. Set aside 10 or 15 minutes every day to worry. You should let yourself think about all of your worries, fears, and doubts during this time. Stop though when the time is up. Your mind will learn from this exercise that worry is okay, but it doesn't have to take over your thoughts. Why does this work? It works because you're aware of your fears, but not letting them take over your life. Buddhism stresses the idea of non-attachment, which means we shouldn't hold on to things, even our feelings. By giving yourself a time to worry, you are learning letting go of your worries. You are aware that they are there, but you don't let them stay too long. You may find that the time you set aside to worry gets shorter or even goes away over time as you learn that most of your worries aren't important. Solutions and the present moment will become more important to you. This is where real peace lies. Don't forget that worrying doesn't solve problems. It just takes away the peace of the present. Lesson 3. Shift your focus to gratitude whenever overthinking begins. In Buddhism, being grateful is a strong way to change your mind and find inner peace. We often think too much about what's missing, what could go wrong, or what we don't have when we need to stop. This leads to a feeling of not having enough and being unhappy. But when we turn our attention to being thankful, we let happiness and plenty into our lives. Buddhism says that the way we see the world is where real happiness lies, not the things that happen to us. Being grateful changes how we see things and shifts our focus from what we don't have to what we do have. When you stop thinking so much, this change in focus can help you calm down. When you start to think too much, take a moment to write down a few things you are thankful for. It could be something as easy as the air you breathe, the food you eat, or the company of a friend. A central idea in Buddhist beliefs is that being thankful brings you back to the present moment. It helps you remember that there is always something good in your life, even when you are worrying too much about things you don't know. Being grateful not only stops you from thinking too much, it changes the way your brain works so that you see the world through the lens of plenty. Mindfulness will help you feel more peaceful and less likely to overthink as you do it more often. Buddhism tells us to see how everything is linked, and being thankful helps us see that we are a part of a bigger picture. Being connected and thankful makes us less likely to think too much. Lesson 4. Accept that perfection is not necessary for peace. The need for perfection is one of the main reasons why people think too much. We worry all the time that things and ourselves aren't good enough, and that we would finally be at peace if we could just get everything right. But Buddhism shows a very different way to find peace, one that doesn't depend on being perfect, but on being okay with things as they are. The idea of impermanence is very important to Buddhists when they try to understand life. There is no such thing as perfection or permanence because everything is always changing. We don't have to control or perfect everything when we accept this truth. Being at peace with your life doesn't mean having a perfect life. It means being okay with the way things are. Because it sets unrealistic standards, perfectionism makes people think too much. We keep thinking about events, choices, and outcomes over and over again in an attempt to make everything perfect. But Buddhism says it's okay for life to be messy. We often hurt when we try to be perfect because we are after something that doesn't exist. Instead, try to do your best in the present without worrying about how things will turn out. Know that the process, not the end result, is what brings happiness. If you stop thinking too much about how things should be and just accept them as they are, you will feel a lot better. Being compassionate is something that Buddhism teaches us to do, and not just for other people. Know that you are still being worked on, and that's okay. Lesson 5. Move your body to break the cycle of racing thoughts. Buddhism teaches us to be aware of both our body and our thoughts, knowing that they are linked. It's easy to lose touch with our bodies when our minds start to race and we think too much. This lack of relationship only makes mental stress worse. Moving your body is one of the best ways to break the loop of assuming too much. Moving your body is a sort of meditation in and of itself. Moving your body, like when you walk, stretch, do yoga, or even just do some easy breathing exercises, can help calm your mind. In Buddhism, being aware while doing things is very important. One popular form of meditation is walking, in which each step is taken with awareness, focusing on the body's movement and sensations. In times when you think too much, take a short mindful walk. Think about each step you take, how the ground feels under your feet, and the beat of your breath. You will be pulled back into the current moment from the never-ending loop of thoughts. Moving around reduces stress in both the body and the mind. It helps us remember that we are living, breathing things, not just minds stuck in a never-ending loop of thinking. When you move your body, you stop thinking about the things that are bothering you, and you feel happy and calm. It is also known that regular exercise can lower worry, anxiety, and depression, all of which are often caused by thinking too much. Moving around every day can help you stop overthinking before it starts, which will make your mind and body feel better. Lesson 6. Label your thoughts to distance yourself from them. Vipassana, which means insight meditation, is a teaching in Buddhism that teaches people how to watch their thoughts without getting attached to them. Putting names on thoughts is an important part of this exercise. When we think too much, our thoughts often become too important to us, making us think that they describe us or are true by nature. Thoughts are just that, thoughts. They come and go, and they don't always match up with reality. Writing down your feelings is one of the best ways to stop thinking about them too much. If you notice that you are thinking too much, take a step back and just name the thought. You can name the thought as worry if it makes you worried about something that will happen in the future. You can call it regret if you're thinking about a mistake you made in the past. When you name the thought, you put some space between yourself and it, which makes it less powerful over you. Mindful awareness is one of the most important ideas in Buddhism, and this practice comes from it. When you watch your thoughts without judging them, you start to understand that they are just mental events and not absolute truths. This space gives you a chance to reply to your thoughts more carefully, without acting on impulse or getting stuck in a cycle of overthinking. Labeling your thoughts can also help you understand how they work. You might start to see themes that keep coming up, like fear, doubt, or being hard on yourself. You can start to deal with these trends better once you are aware of them. You'll find that overthinking happens less often and less intensely as you practice naming. This will give you more peace and clarity in your mind. Lesson 7. Visualize a stop sign to interrupt negative thinking. Thinking too much can feel like a train that has gotten away. It seems to go faster the more you try to stop it. Visualization is a strong tool you can use in these situations. Visualization is a popular practice in Buddhism, especially in some types of meditation. People use mental pictures to concentrate and develop good traits like calmness and compassion. Imagine a big red stop sign whenever you start to think about something bad or stressful. This is an easy but effective way to stop overthinking. The stop sign tells your mind it's time to take a break and think about something else. By picturing the stop sign, you break the loop of thinking too much and give yourself a chance to start over. This method works because it makes you aware of the present moment and stops your thinking from going in a steady stream. According to Buddhism, we can control our thoughts, but we have to work at it. Visualizing a stop sign can help you take charge of your thoughts and remember that you can pick and choose what you think about. After picturing the stop sign, take a deep breath and think about something neutral or good again. That something could be a simple routine, taking a few deep breaths, or focusing on something else. The important thing is to stop thinking too much before it gets out of hand. The stop sign image can become a quick and easy way to stop overthinking and calm your mind down if you do it often. You can learn to stop overthinking and find true peace by following these 7 lessons that come from Buddhist teachings. Steps are given in each lesson that you can use right away to help you organize your thoughts, clear your mind, and feel more calm. Remember that getting to peace is a process. If you are aware, patient, and kind to yourself, you will find the beauty of having a clear mind.